You going out, cat? Meow. Alright guys, today we're going to be heading up to Muncie, Indiana. We're looking at roughly about an hour drive from here. You didn't hear those water bottles being crunched under my seat, but we're looking at about a roughly 1 hour drive from here. It sucks, like growing up, Muncie is only a 25-minute drive, but where I live now, it takes forever to get up there. But we're leaving the house pretty early today, and we're gonna go up there and pick up our cylinder head and get this baby back, get her cleaned up, throw some paint on it, and get it ready to go back on our 24-valve Cummins engine. So before we get into the video, if you guys don't mind, leave me a like down below and subscribe to the channel. And once you finish the video, leave me a comment, let me know what you guys think. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Alright guys, we're rolling up here at Nye's Automotive. This is a really cool place. I love going here. It's just such an old school machine shop. These dudes have been doing this for so long. I just know what's up more than anything. Super cool. Rolling it out. I can probably... There's payment account right there. You got your credit card receipt on there too. Yeah. Okay. Sweet. Sweet. Tell you what guys, if you don't have in your own town a little hardware store like this, you're missing out. Had to stop and get this little plug here for my heater core hose fittings and automatic transmission fluid exchange, which my truck's a manual. I'll just explain it to you guys if I remember when we get back. But this will go basically directly behind the alternator into the side of the block, and just a nice way to plug it off rather than just putting the bolt and rubber hose in it like it's standardly people do. Alright guys, just pulled back up to the house and we got our head in here. Now we just got to get that thing out, get it up on something, and start doing some painting on it. We're just going to hit it with a little bit of Duplicolor engine enamel with ceramic. It says it'll withstand 500 degrees, so it'll probably come off eventually, but it's going to look good for a while. So get this paint warming up for spray painting. It's only like 60 degrees in my garage right now, so a lot of times if I'm spray painting, what you can do is, if it's cold, I know my sink is freaking disgusting, but kind of get some hot water going. There we go. We'll get some hot water going, and we will just set this paint down in that, let it float around, and that'll heat the paint up. Because like I said, we're only dealing with 50 degrees in here right now. I do have the heater going, but it takes a second for it to heat up, my heating system. Alright, now before I set this thing up here for good, I do want to show you guys something real quick, and it's going to be the O-ring. So we're going to be adding some power to this truck, and Cummins can blow head gaskets when you put excessive boost to them, and one of the things that you can do to these to prevent that from happening, and I know this is kind of repeated content for some of you guys, but if you're new, you can O-ring the head. So what they do is they cut a little groove into the head surface and they put a little piece of wire in there. So they're cutting a little groove in it. It's similar to fire rings, but these are glued in. A lot easier to install. They're O-ringed in. And this will, that compression, when that piston's coming up in that cylinder and it's making all that boost, this right here is going to prevent any of that excessive compression from blowing your gasket out and putting you know, exhaust gas into your coolant, oil ports, and stuff like that. Kitty, you better get out from under here in case it falls on you. Get out. Go. And guys, we also got a lot of other stuff painted up on the truck. Got the valve cover painted black, intake horn black. Got us a couple new clamps for our intercooler boots. We also got a grid heater delete. This is really nice. So we can delete the grid heater. I was just gonna do the good old fashioned take it out, but here's what scares me. You can take the grid heater out and then you have to plug these holes back up. You have to put these bolts on. And I was just sketched out. I was thinking, well, what if those bolts back out, fall down on my motor, trash my motor? So I spent 20 bucks and got that. Or however much it was, 30 bucks. And it's got boost taps already in it, or nitrous taps, whatever you want to run. So that'll look good. All that black. And here's the fitting that we stopped to pick up. So here's the one that came out of the motor. I'll show you guys where that goes. Let's actually just install it real quick right now. Here's some. It goes in the side of the block right down in here. There's a little hole right here inside your block. Normally this will go to like the heat exchanger or the heater core hoses, depending on the configuration. Automatic, manual, and 6-speed. Well, that's pretty much the only decipher is whether it's automatic or manual. So we'll see if that fits real quick. It should. Oh yeah, she's gonna fit. That's 1/2 inch. I was correct when I got the plug. It's pipe thread, so you don't want to absolutely tighten the crap out of it, but you want to get it good and snug. And I got some thread tape on it there. Give it probably one more. That's tight enough. So now we've got that plugged off, and now we won't have any leaks, because normally it would go, this fitting would go to the heat exchanger. You guys, if you ever try to get this out of your motor, you will break it if you try to put vice grips on this piece right here. So what you'll have to do is, you can see there's an Allen key. Some of them have them, some of them don't. But there's a 10 mil Allen plug at the end of it. So you'll need to take a long Allen wrench and stick through this hole, heat it red hot with a torch, and then an Allen wrench, and it'll come right out. A lot of guys struggle getting those out, such as myself, and we'll just put a piece of hose and a bolt in it. Looks like crap, and the last time that I did it on this truck, it actually started leaking on me when I was out on the road somewhere, so that was sketchy, but I was able to get home. So put our tools up real quick. We need to get a new toolbox too. We're growing out of this one pretty quickly, so looks like our paint's starting to dry. This thing is looking good. Good. I should have plugged these holes off. I'm sure some of you guys will give me crap for that, but I didn't. I'll just clean them real quick before I go back together. Got that gloss black paint on the head. Looking fresh. It's gonna look so good whenever everything's put back on. Everything's gonna be painted black. So I'm really excited to go back together with this thing, guys, if you haven't already been able to tell. And this will just save us time. I know normally you guys just do this stuff in the truck, but I'm just trying to get as much done right now that I can while I don't have assistance setting this thing on. And that one right there will have to be a long one. And Alright guys, now we're also going to be installing a couple other things on the head. We have our map sensor, coolant temperature sensor, air intake sensor, temperature sensor, and then this is our line that goes to our heater core hose. So we'll start with this one, get it wrapped up real nice. Takes the 7/8, yeah, 7/8. So that one's in there good and tight. And then our map sensor, it goes over here. And this hole right here, O-ring on. It's good. We don't have a new O-ring, but it's in good shape, so it'll be fine to reinstall. Map there. So there, that's on there. We'll snug it up with a wrench. It's tight enough. And then we have air intake temperature. It's got an O-ring on it too. We don't have a new one, but it's in good shape, so we'll be fine. Stick that one on there. Now, if you guys want, you can wait and put these on when it's in the truck. Take less of a chance of breaking them, because they are pretty expensive. They're all like 80 bucks at least. And that's for O'Reilly's brand. So, all right, guys, here's the head gasket set that we're actually going to be using. This is a Molly set. Comes with pretty much everything. I mean, literally everything you need to do a head gasket. I like the exhaust manifold gaskets it comes with because they're multi-layer steel, and they're just really nice. And they have these like little tabs on them where you can start all the bolts in the exhaust manifold, and you'll be able to start all the bolts, so that way you can just hang the gaskets on there, stick the manifold, and kind of get the point. New turbo manifold gasket. I believe this is for if you have a open scroll turbo intake manifold gaskets. It comes with all new, which I don't like how they're just chilling. Sealing washers for the injectors, so you'll want to change these while you have it out. And also remember, guys, we're drilling our flow tubes out too, so we'll have new O-rings for those. Tonight is Wednesday night. Me and Mason have been working on the chipper a little bit more. We got the chipper cover all put back together. The only thing I got to get is an exhaust manifold gasket. I tried to get it to seal with some like high temp silicone, but it's just not going to work, so I had to order some. But these studs are just so far gone that is getting really sketchy. I had to grind some of the material down here on the flange to even catch threads. I had to drill the bottom one completely out and put a nut and bolt in it. So that's just been a pain in my ass for about the last hour. On the Cummins, I haven't worked on it at all tonight, but last night I did work on it a little bit, and I'll show you guys. We got the cylinder head on, the fresh gasket, got the valve set, new thermostat put in. I did go ahead and I'm replacing the water pump. You guys never changed yours, they're right there. Just 2 bolts to get them out. Nothing wrong with the old one, they just randomly shit on these sometimes, so I went ahead and replaced it. There it is. There's the new one. I just put some spray paint on, because it'll just rust if you don't put something on it. So we'll get that put on. Torqued the head, valve lash set, fresh gasket. The only thing we really have to do is put the rest of the stuff back on it. Turbo, manifold, turbo. I put some new battery cable ends on it. Got a couple new clamps for the intercooler boots. We got our grid here to delete. We're gonna get that put on there, and then we gotta put our valve cover back on. We need to install injectors. Someone mentioned in the last video, in the comments, they wanted to know how you drill these flow tubes out, so I'll show you real quick how I did it. I did it at home in the vise. I did part of it in the last video, and you wanted to know how to completely do it. I don't know why I even put it in there without showing you guys the full process. So that was just my own stupidity. But if you go back and watch the last video, and about halfway through it, I talk about drilling them out. And I do the first part of it. There's two parts. First, you have to knock the filter out of the beginning, the top of the feed tube, and then you have to run a 3/32 6-inch bit. You can see that thing right there. If it'll focus on it. But basically, you can see how long it is. You have to be able to get all the way through it. You need to go from the top, but see if it'll go. I can't get it all the way through there without the drill. But the whole, if it'll focus, if I get my face out of it, it might. I doubt I'll be able to get this to focus, guys. So I apologize on that. But it's a 3/32 bit that you run all the way from the top down. Use lots of lubricant. And what I found was the easiest way to do it. So I put it in my vise, wrapped something around the jaws, and then went down a little bit, took it out, cleaned it, sucked out the shop vac, went down a little bit more, took it out, cleaned it with shop vac, all while putting PB Blaster on it after every time. And then eventually you'll feel it pop all the way through. And the mating surface at the end, you don't mess with that at all. So that's how you're able to do this. At first I was like, man, this is kind of sketchy. I don't know about this. But then once you actually look at them and realize that you're not changing, that sealing surface at the end, that sealing surface right there at the end stays the same. You're not interfering with that at all. The inside, there's enough material there to where the sealing surface stays the same, and then your bit just goes through it. Ghetto? Maybe. Could you just order new connecting tubes? I think you can. I think you can get them somewhere, but this bit was $5 and it took 30 minutes of my time to do. My main reason behind doing it is my buddy has a VP truck, which is pretty much going to be the same engine setup as this, and it hydrolocks really bad. If you're driving it and you're getting on it and you just let off the throttle real quick and bring the engine down to idle, it'll just die and it'll pull air into the system, and you'll have to literally pull over on the side of the road, bleed the injection lines, and it's just a big pain in the butt. We don't want to mess with that. And this, in theory, is supposed to help with that, having bigger connecting tubes and bigger fuel lines as well. But we're just doing the tubes for now. So I thought I would throw that in there so you can see that. But yeah, that's done. So we're just trying to get this stuff together, guys. Just got so much going on every night. It seems like there's not enough time in the day. So yeah, head's on, head's torqued, valves are set. So when you put the injectors in, feed lines, turbo and manifold, and then I have a surprise for you guys in one of the upcoming videos. We are going to be installing a programmer on it. If you saw on my Instagram, you know what kind it is. But that's going to wrap it up. Be sure to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below and let me know what you guys think of the video, and we'll see you guys on the next one.